Hey, welcome back to episode 221 of the Guide and Gun Podcast. I'm your host, Troy.
And I'm your other host, Doug.
We use this podcast to talk about God, guns, and the responsible Christian gun owner's interest. On this week's show, we'll be talking about a mystery.
Mm-mm.
You have to wait and find out a little bit later in the show. Same time we do. Well, thank the bandwidth sponsor, Farms Radio Network. We appreciate them sponsoring our show for you guys to download at your convenience and leisure. We've been getting fussed at by them because they said you guys haven't been recording enough shows, so we need to get.
Oh, did they? We need to take up more bandwidth.
He sent out an email. Hey, you guys aren't regular. Well, it wasn't just us. There's a bunch of other shows that have been missing episodes and things like that. We're the oldest of the whole bunch of them.
Yeah,
but with the exception of Reloading Podcast,
Jim's got us.
Jim's got us beat. Other than that, we're the oldest ones that are out there. I can tell you that straight up.
That's it.
We got excuses built into the show. Who else want to thank?
Crossbreed holsters. We've said it before. If you're carrying a gun, you need to be carrying in a crossbreed. Check them out. Troy's got the sticker up. Crossbreedholsters.com. Carry the cross.
Carry the cross. We also want to thank. I really. We picked up. I'm sorry, I'm for coughing you guys' ears. Picked up the mail on the way back from Audrey's volleyball game tonight, and Gunner opened it up as soon as he saw it. A Patriot patch. You gotta sit Santa Claus.
Oh, nice.
You can sit maybe better in the patch. He sees
like that.
You when you're sleeping. He got the night vision.
Night vision goggles.
It comes with a sticker too.
You gotta like that.
Yeah. Zeke just texted me something. Let's see what Zeke said. Zeke, you go ahead and tell about your guide and gun activities. Zeke's talking about coming on the show, so I'll.
Our potential mystery guest. Let's see. What did I do? He might. You never know. He's a big time recording artist now. TV star. He ain't got time for us little peeps. Let's see. This weekend, been doing my Sportsman Daily Devotional. Went to church. Got to go to church on Sunday. We went to a different church this week. Went to a friend of mine here local. I just found out he's actually coming duck hunting with me. I've known him for years. His name's Steve. He just started pastoring a church local here, and I didn't even know he'd gotten ordained and was preaching now. But he was telling me about it. I was like, man, I got to go. And then come to find out, it's the same church. My son-in-law, his family, his grandpa and his aunt and their family all attend that church. So we were all talking about it. And he was telling me that when they were out in Arkansas duck hunting, they're like, hey, yeah, you're taking our preacher with you here in a few weeks. I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm like, who's your preacher? And he told me, I was like, oh. I said, well, I didn't even know he was preaching. So I hit him up. And so me and Winnie went over and surprised him Sunday and watched him preach. He did a good job. I was impressed. I was like, you go, boy.
Good deal.
All right. Yeah. So he is, he's doing some good work over there. So I'll have I can't say a pistol packing preacher. I guess he's going to be a shotgun packing preacher down in Arkansas with me next week. So, or actually, when's he coming? New Year's, so he'll be out there. Everyday carry on the gun side. I've been carrying my Glock every day. Getting ready to head back, man. Round Deuce coming up for Arkansas. We're going to be leaving Thursday, early Thursday, probably Wednesday night sometime, tomorrow night. But anyway, we're heading back out. Man, Sean and I had a gun cleaning party the other day over here. He carries a backup gun out there with him, along with his gun. He shoots a Benelli Super Black Eagle 3, and he's got a Stoger backup. And I shoot my Benelli Vinci, and I have a Stoger backup. And we actually let people use all of our guns over the week. So guns were dirty. So I broke my Vinci down for the very first time that I've had it. I probably had it 6 years, somewhere in that area. But I took that joker completely down, took the trigger assembly out of it. I took the magazine tube out of it. I took the entire. Excuse me. I took the entire bolt carrier out of it. Took all the springs out, the firing pin. It was the first time I'd ever broke it down to that level. And yes, I had to pull a YouTube video up and watch on how to do it because I could not figure out how to get that trigger assembly out of it. It didn't look hard, and once I figured out how to do it, it wasn't that hard. But man, it's like doing Chinese arithmetic, man. I'm like, how are you supposed to get this thing out of here? I don't know how did we ever get by, man, without YouTube back in the day when we were younger.
We had to go to Guns and Ammo and read articles. We had to ask Grandpa.
Yeah, and Grandpa was like, I don't know. I remember I took a 30-30 apart because I had a shell hung inside. It wasn't in the chamber. It was hung kind of like coming out of the magazine tube in the 30-30 lever action, and it was like wedged in there. I could not get it out. And I made the mistake of trying to take that thing apart, and my grandfather wound up taking it to a gunsmith and had to get that shell out of it, and they had to put it back together again. I think I had all the parts with it when he took it, but I didn't try that no more for a while. But hey, YouTube makes it easy, man. If you don't get it the first time when they do it, you just rewind it and watch it again.
Yep. The only problem is some of the advice is not any good.
Yeah. Well, I watched it before I tried. I'll make sure. And I watched that guy do it. I was like, well, that looks pretty easy.
Yeah.
And for the most part, it was. And it took me a minute to figure out how to get the charging handle pin out of the bolt carrier, to get that pulled out. I'm like, I can't believe there's not something holding that in there. But there ain't really. You just kind of pull it back and snap that joker out of there, and it'll pop right out. So that's all I can see is that joker flying out in the middle of the swamp bottom down there in Arkansas one morning. That's going to kick me off. But I did make it out Sunday afternoon for a little while. It quit raining over the weekend long enough that I'd put corn out back behind the house and got my pile of corn going on back there again. I hadn't put anything back there in probably 3 weeks since before I went to Arkansas this last time. So
yeah,
I couldn't check. I checked my trail camera and it had filled the memory card up on the 15th of November. So I didn't have any pictures from the 15th of November on. So I don't know, they could have been having a party back there for all I know. But I went back there Sunday afternoon and sat until dark and didn't see nothing but a huge squirrel fest going on. But other than that, I haven't been doing a whole lot, man. Just counting down the days so I can go back to Arkansas.
Cool.
Hey, it was fun. I got to tell you this story. I had one of the girls that works for me at work. I put her 2-week notice in the other day, and she's taking a job at another company. So we went in to tell my boss and our big boss. And so me and my boss Derek walked in there, and we're like, "Yeah, we got to tell you something." We sit down. And he kind of looks at me and says, "All right, go ahead." And my boss Chris looks at me and he's like, "You don't have any paper in your hand, so please tell me you're not resigning to go duck hunting forever." I'm like, "No, not yet."
Well, that day may come, though.
It certainly may.
Did you tell you that? Well, depends on how y'all treat me.
Yeah. That pay raise I've been looking for.
Company car I've been looking.
Yeah.
Being able to carry at work, those are all on the table now.
Yeah, I had to leave my carry gun in somebody else's truck today because I had to take my truck, and my oil life had ran out on it. It said change oil as soon as you can. So I took it down today, and I got the oil changed in it. And hey, found out that my policy that I got an extended warranty on my truck, and apparently I was smart and bought the platinum plan from Chevrolet when I bought it.
Yeah.
And it came with your first brake job, first brake pads and stuff were free.
Well, how about that?
I was like, how is that even possible? I've never heard of that.
How about the lifetime brake replacement? Oh, the brake job on my Ford, and they didn't cover nothing.
Well, hey,
I got 2 calipers that they screwed up. Yeah, it was not any good.
No. So I got oil change and brake job, new brakes put on, and got a military discount on top of that. It cost me $69. So
how about that? It ain't cheap to work on cars anymore. I
Nah.
dropped a whole bunch of money. I could have bought a little Yugo for what I paid to get my truck fixed here recently. Hey, look who we got in the house.
Our mystery guest is here.
Hey, I'm Zeke. A mystery guest. Who's the mystery guest?
What's up, Zeke?
What's up? How are y'all?
Good, man. How you doing?
Good. Y'all recording right now?
We're recording right now live. You're live.
You're live.
Oh, I'm live?
In front of two whole viewers.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, hopefully it'll pick up after a while, you know. Our audience is old people. They all go to bed early. It's their problem.
I told Troy a while ago, I said, Zeke might not be able to come on, I said, he's done made it to Discovery Channel now.
No. Y'all are old friends.
Well, we've been promoting the show best we can with all of our 6 listeners. So
hey, I've been doing my part, Zeke, man. I watch it live and I record it and I go back and watch it 3 times before the night's over.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
I'm getting you some reviews, buddy.
Hey, every one of my kids watch it.
Have y'all reviewed it on IMDb.com yet?
No, we don't know how to
I have not.
He doesn't know how to use the internet. You can do it then.
I can do that.
Leave us a review. Yeah, we want to get those numbers up. Make it look like everybody likes it.
So
not actually like it, just make it look like everybody likes it.
So let's properly introduce you. Zeke Stout. He's been on the show before. He's helped us out in a multitude of ways. Originally, he started out with Talking Lead and got me introduced to Farms Radio Network. Yep. And then now he's been picked up by the Discovery Channel to host the Master of Arms on Friday nights on Discovery Channel after Gold Rush. So
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock Eastern.
Yep. So, 9 Central.
9 Central. And then we know how it goes from there. So
have you told that story how you got into this whole world, Troy?
Yeah. It was a weird way it happened.
So Troy was, you were basically a fan that day I met you. We all went to lunch, right?
Yeah, well, I knew David. I knew Dave, let's put it that way. And I told him I'd loan him some a couple uppers for
That's right.
For his guns. And he invited me to come down to Nashville.
And I didn't mean that like insulting. You were just a fan. No, I didn't mean it like that.
Well, it was that way. I watched videos of 22 Plankster and of Hitchcock 45 and Jeff, and I knew Jeff Quinn from Gun Blast. And so all 3 of those guys invited me to come down to Nashville because since I live so close to the Tennessee line, they said, well, you're practically a Tennessean. Come on down and protest with us. So I came down there and met up with you guys, and they invited me to go out to lunch with y'all. And then
this is how nice a guy Troy is. So the night before, we had our 4th episode of Talking Lead ever. And our guest was Hitchcock 45. Well, that was our 4th episode. He was like, hey, come out to the same protest we had and everything. And so we're all standing around talking and stuff. And Troy's like, well, what do you guys do? And we're like, oh, Talking Leads podcast, YouTube channel. Oh, that's cool. I'll check it out. But he had this look on his face like, never heard of it.
Never heard of it. But the worst thing about it was that I was the shortest person in the room.
Yeah, that's true.
Because Marty didn't show up.
No, Marty wasn't there, was he?
No, he was supposed to be.
Yeah.
But he got lost or something. Couldn't make
it. Yeah. He was at the protest, but then he got lost going to lunch.
Yeah. It's down around the corner.
Oh, Marty. And the next thing you know, was it Mike used to host God and Guns, right?
Yeah.
He stepped down and Troy stepped in and took it over. And now y'all are running it.
I don't know if that was a good for looking back 5 years from now. Yeah, 5 years ago. Well,
Are you in a bunker?
Yeah, I'm in a bunker.
I was going to say, bunker. What's up with the concrete walls there, homie?
I'm in a bunker. I called it the bunker.
Did I miss an emergency alert? Because I'm only an hour and a half from you, so I should have heard it.
No, I live in the bunker now.
Okay.
When we moved, I moved my office into the bunker. So this is where I keep all my reloading and gun stuff and radio stuff. So we're glad to have you on. I don't want to keep you all night. I appreciate you jumping in here. Just wanted to promote the show. And
cool.
How's the season going so far? You got good ratings, or how are they turning out?
Oh man, you give the perfect segues. It's just like you teed it up for me on what I wanted my soapbox to be.
I got your notes, so
yeah, exactly.
Knock it out of the park, Zeke.
This is all scripted. No, our ratings have been good, but not great. That's what we keep getting told. In the rankings, there's a website called Showbuzz Daily. We've gone from 19 to 14 to 13 to 24 to 26. And a lot of that has to do with, I think, on the website and on the Discovery Go app, you only get 3 free episodes before you either have to use your cable provider or buy it. So I think that's part of it. So 3 episodes, 4 and 5, we kind of dropped a little bit. The thing I kind of want to get on my soapbox. I don't want to complain. I don't want to sound like I'm just, whining. But this is something I said it on the Military Arms channel when I went on his channel. Whether you or not people like the show. Let's say you've watched it and it's just, too much going on. I'm not into these competition shows, whatever. Network TV, Hollywood, is allowing gun shows back on TV. Mm-hmm. This is an opportunity, whether you like ours or not, to show the power we have as a community with ratings, with views. And if we don't, because I've had the meetings with the execs, hey, this is gun stuff. How do y'all feel about it? It's all numbers to us. You bring us ratings, then other shows may show up with firearms. This is all, it's all a numbers game, and it's a business. And if we bring numbers to the table, we'll continue with another season. And it's not about us. This is about a bigger picture kind of thing. This is about the firearms community as a whole, not being stuck on Outdoor Channel, Sportsman's Channel, and Pursuit Network. Mm-hmm. But we have to prove that we have numbers. So I did the math, and this is where I kind of was like, oh my God, why isn't this happening? There's 130 million gun owners in our country. Let's say conservatively, only half of them are really staunch, fight for our rights, gun supporters. So that's 65 million. If we got 10% of that 65 million, we would be the biggest show on cable TV right now. Not network, but cable TV.
Yeah.
10%. And if we got 5%, we would probably be the #1 show on our night, on Friday nights. So it's kind of like, I want our community to really get behind it. And it was almost like when I heard, well, we're going to feel this out. If the ratings come, we're just not really sure if that community will support a TV show, blah, blah, blah. I almost had one of those hold my beer moments where it's like, watch this. And so that's kind of what I want to see happen. And like I said, this isn't, it started off with me more promoting the show, going, hey, we want to get a second season. If you like the show, help us get a second season. And then I had this light bulb moment. I was on, whose show was I on? Civilian Carry Radio with Baraka. And I had this light bulb moment, and I was like, whoa, this is bigger than Master of Arms. This is the opportunity for the firearms community to say, hey, we got the numbers too. And this is what we can do to support it. And then other people in our community get TV shows that you might like better or you might like worse, but it's still an opportunity to show it. And then because of the way we're presenting it, we're presenting more historical firearms because it looks cooler. we could do ARs, but it would be a 10-minute episode.
Yeah.
Because they're not hard to make, and there's not a whole lot of craftsmanship and artistry that goes into it, unless we did like a Cerakoting, awesome episode or something like that. But having the weapons that we are showing is opening up the doors to the people who may be on the fence about guns. And they're like, I'm not really sure how I feel about them, or maybe even completely anti-gun, but they don't know the historical significance of things. And we present it in a historical light, and we present it in a craftsmanship light. And we've actually had people reaching out and going, hey, I wasn't really sure how I felt about it, but this is really interesting. Can you tell us more? So there's a twofold attack to this and why we need to have stuff like this going on. But yeah, there's my soapbox. Watch the show.
Yeah, I mean,
we tell everybody to watch it.
Yeah, we've been promoting and pushing it on social media and everything where we can. So I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed this last one with the grenade launcher.
I was just fixing to say, man, that was cool,
dude. I was really, really worried when we got there, and they told me, "All right, first round, what we're going to have them do is build a locking mechanism." I was like, "Say what?" I was like, okay, how is that going to be exciting TV? And we brainstormed a lot, us and the producers, and we sat in a room for probably 2 hours trying to, okay, how are we going to make this cool? And then I can't remember who suggested it. It may have been the executive producer or one of us. I don't remember. But we were like, wait, how long would it take to put this together normally and heat treat it and everything? And we were all like, 4 or 5 hours. We're like, let's give them 3. And that's what we did. And it became a pressure cooker. And a lot of people have said that was one of their their favorite quick draw challenges because it was so intense, where that was the one I was most scared would not play on TV well. So, and I was disappointed because I didn't get to beat the crap out of something, but
I know. you get to light that fire though.
Yeah, I did get to do that.
Hey, so I was watching the episode where they made the chains and had the ball on the end of it with the spikes, on the end of the rod. And the first one you drew back with and swung at that piece of metal, I like, man, I hope I don't come back and hit Zeke in the head because that's gonna hurt.
So Ashley touched on it. She talked about it a lot more, but we're trying to squeeze 70 hours of footage into 43 minutes. So they didn't get a whole lot of it in there, but she talked about how they weren't really found a lot after they were first invented because they started realizing they were more dangerous to the user than they were to the people they were swinging them at. You swing them at a horse, and that horse coming full speed, it's coming right back where you swung it from, which is supposed to go from your head. Mm-hmm. And so I'm sitting here listening to her going, and they showed it on the show. She said it was usually more dangerous to the user, and that look I give her was not scripted. It was not a joke. I was literally like, what did you just say?
I like the part where she's on a platform every time they come out.
Yeah.
Man, you were on a box. when we saw you over the Iraqi Vet 8888 shoot, and you were talking about they had to put her on a box to get her up, and you're still like 1.5 feet, 2 foot taller than she is. I'm like, no way. And I watched the show. I was specifically looking to see how big the box was. She was standing. I'm like, man, you know what you're kidding.
Yeah, and she had heels. She had heels every episode. So heels or boots, one or the other. But she's the perfect one for that job. I mean, she's got more in her brain than all of us on that show combined.
The part that I always wonder, knowing you personally, when you have to tell them that they need to leave the
oh my God
room, that would be like the hardest part, I would think, for you to have to tell them that they didn't win and they need to get out of there.
I would be happier if you just walked up to me every episode, Troy, and cut my heart out with an axe. It is the hardest thing in the world to do, especially we didn't have anybody that was just a screw up. Okay, that's just obviously garbage. Why? How did you make it through casting? We had nobody like that. Everybody did a good job. So the first round, letting somebody go, and that was tough. But then the second round comes, and they both make amazing things. And there's been a few episodes where the four of us debated for hours. There's an episode coming up. Is it this week's? Yeah, actually, I think it's this week's episode.
Oh, sneak peek.
Where the deliberation for the first elimination. Wow, that rhymes. We were in there for 4 hours.
Wow.
And we argued because they were all amazing blades. And we're like, what do we do? What do we do? And it came down to what you'll see. I almost gave something away. I could have got fired. But it came down to what you're going to see. But we have a bunch of parameters that we line out, and then we give them, this. You're good on this. You're bad on this. You're good on this. You're bad on this. And then there's some things where, especially when it comes to aesthetics, maybe I like something a little bit more than Trent did, or maybe Trent liked something a little bit more than Ashley did, because aesthetics, it's all your opinion. So that was tough. The grenade launcher one was tough. And I wish you could have seen better what we were talking about, the unfinished product on Dan's, because it was like, you even saw, we said, it looks like you didn't finish. And he even said on camera, yeah, but he admitted. And that's what, even though his function better, like I wish you could have seen on the camera better. The butt plate was almost as sharp as a blade. He hadn't polished it down and dulled it. So that was a big knock on him. And then his trigger guard, it was really hard to work the way it was. And he even said it while he was building it. This is weird. I'm going to have to figure something out. And we felt as judges that an unfinished product was more detrimental than the aim of a grenade launcher, being dead accurate.
Well, it's like Ashley, made the point that those grenade launchers, they're not meant to be dead on accurate. You just got to get it close.
Well, you have two things to do though.
And there's a reason it ended up being used more by navies and pirates, because as a grenade launcher, it was kind of garbage. If that grenade, or if the flintlock mechanism didn't go off and shoot the flaming ball out, the grenade out, you threw the grenade launcher. And that's not very effective. So what navies and pirates ended up doing is they would take balls of rope or twine or something and soak it in pitch, light it on fire, and they would shoot that at the sails to burn the sails down. Mm-hmm. So that's why it was not that an effective weapon. It's not like the grenade launchers of today, where you're pretty confident in doing it.
Dude, I was watching the very first episode, and at the very end where you're telling them, who's going to win the competition, and you're like, I can't remember the guy's name, whatever it was. It's like, okay, Troy, you're going home. I'm like, Zeke, are you crazy? He beat that guy easy with $10,000. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. It was more fun in the second round because I didn't have to tell the guy, you stink, go home. I told the guy, you won, the blunderbuss one, we got a lot of blowback from that one. But if you go back and you watch it, there was a very defined gap between the lock plate and the stock. And that was it. That was why, Brian didn't win. And Brian, we're friends with most of these guys now. And he said on social media a few times to people, he goes, I totally respect the judge's decision,
you picked the right one. There wasn't no doubt.
Yeah.
The other guy, the only thing the other guy could have done a little bit more, he could have flared the end of the barrel out a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I think you even pointed it out how the other guy had drilled it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I pay attention. I watch it live, and I go back and watch it a couple times more to get your ratings up for you. So, I find it fascinating personally.
Well, and the flare that he did, we gave him a parameter of how wide it had to be. I can't remember what it is now, but we took a micrometer and we measured, and he met the parameters. and everything else he blew the doors off of.
Oh, yeah.
So, if you've got 3 or 4 things on one and then one thing on another, but everything else is flawless.
Well, his woodworking was beautiful on that gun, man.
Stuff. Yeah, and Brian, to give Brian some credit, he is an amazing gunsmith. He's out of Vegas, I think, the gun doctor. But he builds amazing rifles too. It's just you walk in and we say you got 40 hours on something that normally takes you a month to build. There's gonna be stuff that happens.
Yeah. And this last one with the grenade launcher, the guy kept getting frustrated and throwing stuff and hollering.
Oh man, Ed!
I bet there was a lot of bleeping in that.
Oh, there was.
Floor.
Oh yeah, yeah. There was a ton of bleeping in that one, and he was such a great guy. And when you shook his hands, it was a lot like Hickok's. It was, you feel like you're shaking a baseball glove. I mean, he had huge hands, and his fingers were like kielbasa sausages. It was just crazy shaking that guy's hand. But once again, another gifted craftsman. Everybody we had on, I think that's the coolest thing to me is seeing all the work that they've done. Trying to think, Melinda, the lady that did the Joan of Arc sword, she's just south of me in Chattanooga, and we've become tight since then. And she has started making amazing blades since that. That was her first sword. She had done knives before, but for us to see what she did with her first sword ever, it was kind of like, wow, that's impressive.
So here's my question to you.
Yeah, go for it.
Where do you find this many people that know how to build stuff like that and are blacksmiths and everything else on top of that? I mean, how do you pick them?
If we get a season 2, it'll be easier because now people have seen the show and know it's legitimate. The first season was very, very tough. We had an awesome casting company that was able to vet these people. There were some people they would call me or Ashley or Nick or Trent and ask, is this legit? But a lot of people were like, I'm kind of skeptical. This seems kind of shady. Is this a legit situation? But it's kind of one of those things where you'll have gunsmiths and they might know a little bit about being a bowyer, being into archery, or might know a little bit about blades and a little bit about forging. Or you'll have a bladesmith who knows a little bit about gunsmithing or archery. Or you'll have a bowyer who knows a little bit about one or the other. To find people that know about all three to where we can just surprise the heck out of them is tough. It's tough to do. But I hope one of the things that come from the show is these craftsmen see, hey, I can do more than just, put bows together. There's other stuff I can do to make it real cool. So it's a tough thing to find and then convince people that this is legitimate. I even thought this was a scam when I first started about it. I was like, yeah, whatever. That show's not happening. So
I'm waiting for the pistol episode.
That's Friday.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. The Elgin pistol.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
I like to watch Trent, and he gets excited and runs down to the floor to see what they're doing. He runs around.
Yeah.
He's going to start giving them advice. He looks like he wants to give them advice.
They haven't used it yet, but I kept calling it the Trent trot. I would say, all right, Trent, it's time to go do another Trent trot. They hadn't used it.
He goes zipping down those steps. He runs out there on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like he's really excited, like he wants to jump right in there with them.
Oh, he is. He loves that stuff.
So tell us about Nicholas Irving. Other than this show, I had not heard about him. Of course, I don't know anything anyway. I'm out here in the middle of nowhere. But he's go ahead.
Yeah, Nick is an amazing guy. He was a Army Ranger sniper. He's written 6 books, I believe, 3 fiction and 3 nonfiction about his time as a sniper. They call him the Reaper. That's his nickname. In fact, when they told me, "Hey, the Reaper's going to be one of the co-hosts,"
right?
I thought of another friend of ours, Ron Bell, and I was like, "Oh, really? I know Ron." And they're like, "Who's Ron?" And okay.
I think there's like 65 Reapers out there.
Yeah, more than likely, most likely. But Nick is a pure okay, since I'm on God and Guns, I won't say it, but he's a bad you know what. And he is intense. Like what you see on TV, he would make me hit him before. He wanted to get into that mode, that, fighting mode. And so the first time I was kind of like, all right. He goes, all right, that you blank, you need to do better. And I'm like, okay, boom. And he was like, is that it? I was like, dude, do you really want me to hit you? And he goes, as hard as you can in the chest, but open hand. I was like, all right. So I was like, whoa. He went back 2 inches and took a step towards me with his face. And I was like, oh, God, that's it. I'm dead. Yeah, I'm dead, man. And then he goes, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And then he turned around. And from that moment on, like once I'd get a good hit, we all like step back and we're like, okay, let's let him do his thing. And we're staying out of the way.
Well, you've lost a bunch of weight since that first.
Yeah, I've lost 35 pounds since we filmed season 1.
Since you started slapping him around, you also went and took. You started taking some martial arts classes too.
Yeah. Start taking Krav Maga. It's a Israeli Mossad martial arts. Their military created it. Uh-huh. It's intense, but the biggest thing that motivated me is somebody sent me a snapshot when they were editing all the footage. They're like, "Hey, you look so awesome!" And I looked at it. I was like, "Oh my God, I got huge," because I was 310, 315 somewhere in there when we filmed season 1. So if we get a season 2, people are gonna be like, "Oh man, they replaced Zeke." Who's that guy?
They only purchased 70% of him.
yes, exactly.
All right. Well, we're glad to have you on. Anything else you want to tell us before I let you get out of here?
Spread the word. This is going to be, if we get season 2, this is going to be an absolute grassroots, word of mouth. Tell your friends. If they can't, I get it. A lot of people can't watch it on Friday nights. A lot of people work nights, period, and then they don't get a chance to watch it. If you can't, you can turn your TV on Discovery Channel before you leave the house. Or if you DVR it, or if you watch it online or on the app or the website or whatever, try to watch it within 2 to 3 days of it airing, because that helps. Because I'll talk to people all the time. They're like, "Oh man, I love your show," and I'm like, "Oh," or no, they'll be like, "I love that y'all got a show with guns on TV again." I'm like, "Yeah, cool, appreciate it. What do you think about it?" And they're like, "Oh, I'm DVRing it. I'll binge watch it in about a month or 2." And I'm like, "No,
you don't watch it now.
Right. Watch it now. If you do that, then by the time you watch it, we'll be going, sorry guys, we didn't get a season 2. So I
enjoy it.
Yeah, it's a fun show. It was fun to make. It was, put it this way, it was the most fun I've ever had working in my life filming it. Right now is the most stressful job I've ever had in my life.
Promoting
every Monday afternoon at about 3:20 when the ratings come out. It's just like, oh gosh, please. Oh man. But the biggest thing with us is Gold Rush is our lead-in. Mm-hmm. Which is a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing because they get 2.7 million viewers. It's a curse because they get 2.7 million viewers. Mm-hmm. So if we get 1.1 million, which any other night on any other cable network is awesome, we're not retaining half of their viewers.
Yeah. That
means half of the viewers are turning off. So even though our numbers have been decent, we're not retaining what they have. So, and another part is we've been fighting NBA games and stuff because it's right in the prime of their season. Right. And I've seen a lot of, like, we'll look at the rankings and say we're 14th. 8 out of the 14 are NBA games. And it's like, come on.
Yeah. But it's late. It's, being 10 o'clock. It's going to knock out a lot. And being a Friday night, people are out to dinner with their wives or whatever. So a lot of those things are hurt on watching it live. Now, as far as DVR, and I mean, if they can get to it on Saturday, but they're not going to get to it probably until after the weekend.
Yeah.
That's going to throw you out of the rating.
On Monday, if Monday or Tuesday, we still get counted for it. We get, it's called +3s. Yeah. So I think Tuesday afternoon is the cutoff or something like that. So if they can watch it by then, we're golden. Or like I said, if you can't watch it, leave your TV on Discovery Channel.
You got multiple TVs. Turn them all on.
Yeah, we were wondering about that because now that so many houses have multiple boxes in their house, I wonder if each one of those counts. I don't know. Can't hurt.
Nope, can't hurt. Turn them all on. Call all your friends.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Tell your friends about it, and you'll have a lot of people that'll be like, "Oh, it's Forged in Fire all over again," and it's really not. You know, there's enough that has aired now where you can see this. We're completely delineated from Forged in Fire, even though we do have episodes with blades. We do it differently. Mm-hmm. And don't get me wrong. I was a fan of Forged in Fire. This is kind of surreal for me to be judging and hosting a weapons competition when a year and a half ago I was geeking out to Forged in Fire.
Yeah,
but go ahead.
I met one of the judges at SHOT Show this year. Back in January. I can't remember his name now.
Is it Dave Baker?
No, it's the guy with the beard, Chris something. What's his name?
Oh, you're talking about Jason Knight.
Jason Knight. Okay.
The one that wears the kilt sometimes?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I met him at SHOT Show and talked to him for about 5-10 minutes.
He's up in East Tennessee.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
He's nice. He's a nice guy. Real friendly.
Yep. But yeah, it's you'll get a lot of that, and just let people know. Give it a shot. Watch it, especially if you're a gun guy. Get them to watch the blunderbuss and the long rifle episode. They'll be impressed with that. The axe pistol is kind of one of those where it's like, oh, that's neat.
Yeah. That one was turned around backwards. I was like, what?
Yeah, I'm like,
Dustin. And that's the thing. Gun people were on our side with that. They were immediately the same thing I said. I was like, dude, the recoil is going to stab me. Mm-hmm. But non-gun people were like, oh, I liked his better. It was a better. And it was like, come on.
So do they get to keep their guns and stuff at the end, or you guys?
Liability-wise, as of right now, we've got another plan that Ashley's trying to work out. As of right now, liability-wise, we have to destroy everything.
Oh, wow.
What?
Yeah, and I get it. At first, I was like, what are you doing? These are works of art. But then, we were rapid fire getting to the point of filming. We hadn't set anything up. Legal came and they're like, okay, yeah, if we let them go home and then they sell it and then somebody steals it and then uses it for a crime, guess where it comes back to? And we're like, okay, we kind of get it. So what Ashley would like to see happen is she wants to kind of set a part of her museum, if we continue with multiple seasons, as a possible Master of Arms section. Yeah. Where people have built cool stuff to where people can still go check them out and see them up close, which that was the TV for people who don't get it. They're probably seeing it going, these are awesome. For guys like us that have handled and seen almost everything in the world. Yeah. TV does not do these things justice. Those long rifles were just like, I got to go. They haven't showed them on air, but I got to go do a little drop in, kind of like Trent did during the first round, while they're in the workshop. And when I went in there and I saw those long rifles, I couldn't even talk. I was like, "Oh, wow, guys! Oh, these are amazing!" Yeah. And just the work that they put into them is the screen doesn't do it justice. But they're just amazing craftsmen.
I don't know. They were quite nice looking on TV.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, we're gonna let you go. I know you got a busy schedule, and we appreciate appreciate you coming on short notice, and we will keep promoting.
Thank you.
Look forward to Friday night.
Tell all your friends.
Both of them.
All six.
How many viewers do you have now?
We went down to 3.
Sweet.
We were up
if all those
up to 5 or 6. Well, I don't believe this thing because we get lots of comments on the side while we're going. We'll have like 10 people talking on the side. They'll say we have 4 people watching. I'm like,
if all 4 people tell 300,000 people, we'll be huge this week.
Season 2, here you come.
Yeah. Thank you, 4 people.
We'll try to do better. All right, Zeke. Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it, brother.
All right,
Zeke.
See y'all.
All right. Well, that's pretty cool.
And there you have it. Mystery guest.
Mystery guest.
We didn't
even know ourselves.
We didn't know we were going to have a TV celebrity on the show with us tonight.
Nope. I didn't know where was it. I think we finished up with your stuff, and I think we was getting ready to talk about my stuff. Is that right?
I'm starstruck right now. I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go with my stuff.
Yeah, I was done. All
right. My guiding good stuff is got to go worship Sunday. We're back on a regular schedule now, so I'm actually getting to go to church some. Just read the book Prayer Walking for Spiritual Growth by George McVeigh. I really enjoyed it. It's not a very big book. But it's very instructional, very bare bones about prayer walking. If you ever wanted to go on prayer walk, what kind of prayer walk would you go on? How would you do it? And all that. It lays it all out real simple and straightforward, and cleared up a lot of stuff in my mind about how it should be done. I sort of have my prayer walking was sort of a mix of like 3 forms of prayer walking, all thrown together, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the book. I suggest you can get an audiobook or you can get it a regular paperback. And again, it's Prayer Walking for Spiritual Growth by George McVeigh. And then I'm just starting a Bible study called a Presence-Filled Prayer. And I'm going to start going on prayer walks here in my own community and work my way out using the examples from that book. And I'm thinking about having like videos of those prayer walks and the results of those things and posting that up to our Patreon guys, because we need to do more for those guys that support our show. So I will be working on trying to see how I can make that happen. And the next show we come back, I'll make an announcement if that's something that's feasible, if it's something people are interested in. Because we're in a spiritual battle right now, and we need to get on our knees and pray. We need to get out in the communities and pray over communities and pray over these strongholds the devil's set up in our communities, and tear down those walls and claim it back for Jesus. Get back off my soapbox. So that's pretty much my God stuff. We had a Sunday school class Christmas party on Sunday, and we don't really have a Sunday school class. I teach youth from time to time, and was in youth, but since I took over security, I'm pretty much out. Krista serves in the church office on Sundays, and so we don't really have a regular Sunday school or small group, however you want to call it, class. And we got invited by one of the Sunday school classes to come and be part of their group every Christmas for their party. So it was nice. You could break bread with some fellow believers and do that. So that's pretty much my guide stuff for the week. Gun side, daily carry. I mean, can still carry. I carried tonight up to Audrey's game. I carry 24/7. There's not a time I don't carry anymore unless I'm on an airplane, and that's very seldom, which is coming up SHOT Show here in the 3rd week of January. But I'm having second thoughts about that, about going this year. Just a lot of stuff going on right here at home, and a lot of expenses. I had to spend a big chunk of change on my truck. Had a blown head gasket in it, and I put a bulletproof kit in it, and what else did I put? New shoes on it, so that's not cheap for 4x4 trucks.
Did you buy that new truck?
No, I was going to, and Krista about had a stroke, and so she's like, "We're out of debt. Let's don't go back into debt for a truck." I was like, "But it's a nice truck." She's like,
"It was."
She's like, "No." And I posted on Instagram I posted the pictures of the truck and what y'all thought. It was like 95% said get it, and some of them were like Dodge people, don't get it, get a Dodge or whatever. But it posted over on Twitter too, and Ford replied back. Ford Motor Company replied back, yeah, you gotta get it. Come on up, take a test drive. I was like, yeah, I already got vetoed. The wife already vetoed me. It's not gonna happen anytime soon. It's one of those things where she said, yeah, go ahead and get it. She said, yeah, go. I don't want you to get it, but you can do what you want to. It's like, yeah, I could get what I want to, but I may not have a place to sleep at night.
Well, you got the camper for the back.
It's not quite big enough to do full time.
No,
but well, that's my gun stuff for the most part. I have been working on some guns. My Glock 19. I've requested the part from Trigicon for that little piece that came off, and I haven't put it on yet. And just a little gunsmithing stuff. I cleaned the rifle, and I put together. I already put in the safe. I had a little AR pistol, about yay big, and it is so light. I mean, it's just it's almost as light as a Glock 21. It's just, that light, but it's got a 10.5-inch barrel on it, and I've got another upper supposed to be coming from Hardened Arms to finish out another AR pistol. So I have two of them for Christmas time coming up.
There you go.
Let's see. On a concealed carry, carrying the Glock 30S in my crossbreed holster. Got the light, and it's in my crossbreed super tuck. And usual stuff. What are you carrying?
Glock 19, same as you, except I don't. Well, no, not same as you. Hey, you're back to the 45.
I got the big barrel, the big old barrel.
You did. I just got my trusty 19, which I love. It works good.
Good deal. So we got a iTunes review.
We do. We hadn't had one so long, Troy, and I couldn't remember if this was a new one or not. But it is actually a new one. We actually got a 5-star review by the Big Dog 316. He said, good day, gentlemen. My name is Eli, and I live in Vermont. I just want to say thank you for a great podcast. I am a competition shooter. Thank you for your podcast. Thanks to your podcast, I also refound my faith in the Lord. Keep up the good work, and God bless.
Wow, that's great to hear, Eli.
It is.
Thanks for the feedback. We also got feedback on our video from last week from Dan V. It says, you guys ever doing primitive weapon shooting? I'm starting to get the muzzleloading bug again. I wondered if you guys ever shoot them. I've not had it. I've not had a muzzleloader since I had an old Ruger cap and ball they came out with. I guess it's been 20 years ago. And I kept being afraid of chain fire, so I finally sold the thing after a little while. Or they keep they go off and the powder jumps over to the next cylinder and fires. So I was like, there's too many people having those things blow up in their hands with it. So I think I'm going to get rid of it.
I actually do. I'm fixing to pick up a new one, but I love doing the podcast from the man room.
He's reach over, grab what you need.
I do. I actually have this one. This is a MK Knight. Hey, look, you talk about your barrel.
54.
It's a 54 caliber. Yes, sir. And it is a big boy. And I shoot it. I can't take it with 150 grains of Pyrex in it. I have to shoot it with 100 grains in there, which is plenty big enough. And I shoot a 50 caliber bullet out of it. My old one, my 50 cal that I used to have, which I'm fixing to have another one. But the 50 cal, I used to shoot a 44 Magnum round out of it, shooting a Sabot or
Sabo.
Whatever. It's a Sabot.
Sabo,
Sabot. You say Sabo, I say Sabot. But with the Sabot in there, Sabo in there, I shoot a 44 Magnum. I think I was shooting a 240 grain Hornady jacketed hollow point.
Oh,
And dude, it was wicked on deer, man. Wicked.
Imagine what kind of velocity are you getting down that?
I've never chronoed it, so I don't know. It's smoking down through there pretty good. It's I change all of them out so they're not shooting those little percussion caps. I shoot 209 shotgun primers out of them, so it gets a little hotter, and I shoot
powder burn with that much.
It is, and I don't shoot the just granular powder anymore. I shoot the it's either the 777 or what is it, Higdon's. I can't remember which one it is, but it's the pellets. So they're 50 grain pellets. So you just drop 2 pellets there, you got 100 grains, you're done. And they got a little hole right in the center of them anyway. So that shotgun primer, when it sparks and goes through there, man, it's almost like shooting a modern day rifle, man, other than pushing a bullet down the barrel.
Yeah. Other than you can't chamber another round real quick.
No, I chamber one pretty quick though, because I got those speed loaders for it.
Yeah.
And just turn it on one side, drop your powder down in it, and set it up on here and push. It's got the little plunger in the end of the speed loaders I have, which pushes your bullet down in the barrel, and then just tamp it on down. The hardest part is getting the shotgun primers in there. They don't have a extractor to pull them off. Yeah, they do got an extractor for it, but you're in the dark and half the time trying to get it on there. You got that little tool and you're trying to stick it up in there right, and sometimes it's not easy. That's one thing I don't like about that MK Knight. It takes it's got the conversion kit to shoot the 209 primers on it, but you have to find these little red. It's a little red disc that sits where the nipple normally would be, and then the shotgun primer sits in inside that little red disc that fits on there. And getting them jokers on there is a pain. But you get her loaded up though, buddy. Something's fixing to drop. You shoot with
something gonna fall.
Yeah, you shoot with a 50 grain bullet. It's going down.
A cool deal. I hope that answered your question, Dan. I don't primitive hunt, but Doug does. Doug does most of the hunting. I'm more of a varmint, kill coyotes, and if I can find a groundhogs, and other critters.
Skunks, possums, coons.
I don't want to stink up the place.
That's what you got to shoot. You got to shoot skunks in the back of the head.
Yeah, don't give them a chance to squirt.
Yeah.
My dog finds skunks fine. He find one by every other night.
Dude, that's the worst I have ever been in an electric fence in my life. A skunk came across our yard one day, and Dad told me, "Say, get the rifle and go out there and shoot that thing." I was like, okay, and he hadn't squirted or anything, and it was cool. So I let him walk out. You remember where the old house was? He walked out behind that barn, and he was walking out in the field. And I laid the gun up on top of the fence post, and I'm waiting for him, and I just kind of whistled, and he raised his head up. I shot and killed him, and he didn't spray or nothing. So we had barbed wire, hot wire. So I took the gun, and I pushed the hot wire down, and I stepped across. No big deal. Well, I went to step my other leg across, and the ground was wet, and it was slick because it had been raining.
Well grounded.
I was grounded, but I didn't get shocked then. I didn't get shocked until my pants leg hung in the bottom strand of that barbed wire. And I couldn't get over it, and I slipped. And when I did, the gun butt slipped off the top of the hot wire, which came straight up, and it was lighting me up, and I couldn't get off the fence. I fell down, and my hand hit the ground. The only thing I can remember is when my hand hit the ground, I could see blue arcs shooting off of my fingertips on that grass. Dude, I was about to come unglued, and I wound up tearing down both strands of barbed wire and tore the hot wire down.
You still got scars between your legs?
Yeah, oh, yeah, I got burn marks, And Dad didn't say nothing, but are you all right? He said, when you go put the fence back up, did you kill the skunk? I was like, I did kill the skunk. And
did you eat that skunk?
No. That's one thing he did not make us.
He didn't make you. I knew he had a hard, fast rule about anything he killed, you had to eat. So
he did, and that cut me and John David out of shooting a lot of stuff when we was younger. Yeah, I tried once, and it's like, nah, I ain't gonna shoot no more of them.
I never forget Fred eating that groundhog. It was fat just floating off the top of that crock pot. Vivian isn't there giving him the riot act. You need to clean this mess up. Because groundhogs are full of fat.
Oh yeah.
Came to the top. He's like, that's not bad. Woo.
Put a little hot sauce on it.
What's up? Nah, I'm good. Just eat.
Hey, we try anything once.
Oh, you got a joke for us? Comedy Corner.
I do got a joke. It's called the florist. A business ordered flowers to be sent to the opening of his friend's new branch office. When the businessman got there, he was shocked to see that the flowers with the inscription, "Rest in peace." He was so outraged that he stopped by the florist to complain. After apologizing, the florist said, "Don't get so upset. Somebody today in the city was buried beneath a floral arrangement with the inscription, 'Good luck in your new location.'" I could have said "good luck downtown" or something. That would be bad too.
Good luck in your new hot, warm, tropical vacation location.
Good luck in your new location. That came to us from Chad. Chad keeps me. He keeps me gainfully employed on jokes. Thank goodness. He's a school teacher, so there's no telling what he hears. At school.
We appreciate it, Chad.
Yes, sir.
That was a good one. Well, our mystery was Zeke. He popped in an unscheduled time, so we're going to jump over our main topic here. But we want you guys to promote Zeke's show, please. Master of Arms. Anything you do, promote the gun community in a favorable light. I mean, it's a good, clean show, other than the bleeping of the guy that was beating up his grenade launcher.
He was mad.
He wasn't having a good day, but it's a good, clean show. It's not heavy. It's light and enjoyable. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed to watch the craftsmen work. I mean, seeing people be able to put together their own chain and working.
Was that not cool?
That was cool. Making their own chain out of pieces of steel. That was just slick. And in the woodwork. Man, the woodwork is just amazing on those things. So check out his shows if you could, and record them and watch them and all that. It would be really great for. I think it's a great thing for the gun community to have more gun shows on. That's not on, like he said, it's not on the outdoor channel or something. It's actually on a major cable channel.
That's like. One of my favorite ones was he was talking about that Joan of Arc sword that they made when they hit that when the guy Nick hit that pig with that sword and just about cut him in half. I mean, right through his backbone and everything, man. Just like whack.
Yeah,
that is a serious blade right there, buddy.
Yeah, it got a lot of weight to it too, cut through like that.
Yeah.
Well, we want to thank our Patreon supporters. We've got a bunch of those guys out there that are supporting us. We're going to have a drawing next recording. I don't know how long you going to be out in Arkansas again.
I will be out there till next Sunday. Not this coming, but the next Sunday. I'll be home. But like I said, I take my laptop with me, so we may be able to.
Well, last time you were too busy, I think.
Yeah.
Just getting the more text. So we want to thank our Patreon supporters, Tim Kim, Steve Stone, Shannon Copeland, Chuck Chettle, and Chuck's package is on its way. He won the November package, and I was waiting for you to get back to get the magazine, but you've seen the magazine directly, so we'll go ahead and set up the package on mine. Michael Sheldon, Michael Island, who is Reloading Podcast. If you guys haven't checked out the Reloading Podcast, check out Michael Island over there, and Nick Kostick and Michael Pelletier. So we appreciate all those guys. If you want to become a Patreon supporter, you just go to patreon.com/Guyguns Patches and stickers. We still have patches and stickers. I've mailed out a lot of them to supporters of the show, and a bunch of Christmas cards we sent out. My wife and I sent out this week or last Friday, I guess it was. But we sent out a lot of stickers and stuff to a lot of the people who support the show, a lot of our Patreon supporters, things like that. But we still got quite a few patches left in stock. I need to get some more products in the store because we've sold out of about everything but the patches and stickers. Okay, so we got ways to help out the show. Excuse me. Devore, we had some guys sign up for Devore this week. It's a clearinghouse for Optics Planet. If you like all kinds of outdoor stuff, sporting stuff, just cool stuff in general, knives and gun parts and clothing and optics, and they've got everything there. They clear stuff out a lot of times up to 50% off. So if you join using our link, we get a little bit of love if you purchase something. Laser Activated Shot Reporter, they have just changed their rules so that if you use our coupon code GANDG, you get a 10% discount on everything, not just the software, but all the different products they've got in their store now.
Nice.
Hoplite Armor, our buddy Lyman Bishop over at Hoplite Armor has body armor for everybody at all levels of type of body armor, shields, ballistic shields. What's those helmets called? I guess they're just ballistic helmets that stop, will slow down or stop most rifle bullets. And check them out. Use our link, and then they'll send us a little bit of love if you purchase something at Hoplite Armor. And Zeke, I have been sending out a couple of samples of Zeke to some people that have requested it recently. I take Zeke because it's anti-inflammatory. It also helps lower blood sugar levels. It does a lot of great things. I'm not going to talk much about it, but if you want to know more about it, you can go to godandguns.myzija.com, and then you get the next.
Crossbreed holsters. You've heard us talk about them. Troy's carrying in a Crossbreed Super Tuck Deluxe tonight. I have one of my guns in mine in there waiting to go on anytime. They make any kind of holster you want for any kind of gun you got. There it is. Troy's showing it off right there.
Right here.
The Super Tuck Founders Edition.
Yep. And you see how thick that leather is, and it will just mold right to your body. These clips don't cut you. They're not sharp. If you go get clips from a lot of manufacturers, you rub your hands on that, and they'll slice you open like a razor blade. And it's molded to fit your gun. So for you all that, and it looks like it may be not comfortable, but it's the most comfortable holster I've got.
It's amazing. They make different kinds too. They make them for your belt. They got the drop slide. They got the belly band. They got the bedside backup. They got a purse. They got the OHA. Whatever you carry, however you like to carry, they got them. You can take that OHA too and actually put your piece of Velcro in your truck and have it sitting in there and mount it. But whatever you need, Crossbreed makes a holster for them. They are comfortable. You've heard me and Troy talk about it. I go out to Arkansas and I wear mine on a 12-hour trip, and I never even think twice about it. I got my gun all the time when I'm out there. Go check them out, crossbreedholsters.com. If you find something you like, which you will, use our promo code GNG and get a 10% discount on us. Oh, did we mention belts? They got one of the most awesome belts you'll ever get. You'll ever wear. They are.
Yeah.
So go check them out, crossbreedholsters.com. Also, we got Axelson Tactical. If you're looking for a performance AR rifle that is just a tack driving machine, go check our buddy out, Jeff, at Axelson Tactical. It's axelsontactical.com or axelsonusa.com. And super high-end rifles. They make custom pistols, knives, backpacks. You heard me talk about the backpacks they use. Just a bunch of good stuff. Go check those guys out. Use our promo code God and Guns. Get another 10% discount on us just for listening to the show.
Cool. And Terrace Alliance, we had some of the nonprofits on last week, or it was last week.
It was
5 days ago. They are a group of companies who are mostly military or first responders or just patriots. They have started companies that work together to promote each other, and they also all have a commitment to give to charities that support active military and first responders. And as you heard last week, some of the different nonprofits and charities that they have. So if you'd like to know more about them, just check it out at terracealliance.com, and you can find out all about it. NRA Armed Citizen, Doug, tell us about that.
NRA Armed Citizen comes to us from Columbia, South Carolina today. I love a happy ending story. Sheriff, woman kills jail escapee who kicked in her door. An inmate who escaped minutes earlier from a county jail in South Carolina was shot and killed by a woman after he kicked in her back door, said local sheriff. The inmate was still in an orange jailer's jumpsuit and had grabbed a knife sharpening tool from a woman's kitchen in Pickens as he headed toward her bedroom after 3 a.m. Tuesday. Pickens County Sheriff Rick Clark said, "This was a big guy. If she hadn't had a weapon, there's no telling what would have happened," Clark said. "I gave her a big hug and I told her how proud I was of her. The woman was home alone and had gone through training to get a concealed weapons permit," Clark said. Bruce McLaughlin Jr., 30, died from gunshot wounds to the head. Ooh, headshot. Pickens County Coroner Candy Kelly said Laughlin and a second inmate, Timothy Deal, beat up two guards in an escape they had planned for days. Clark was at a news conference. Clark said at a news conference, Deal was recaptured by deputies without incident about the same time McLaughlin was shot, but the two were going in opposite directions, the sheriff said. The guards had bruises and one complained of a sore back, but they should recover, Clark said. Inmates tried to help the guards while they were being attacked. McLaughlin and Deal stole the guards' keys and locked them in a room, but inmates also broke the door down, the sheriff said. Deal was charged with the escape along with 2 counts of kidnapping and first-degree assault and battery, as well as other charges. McLaughlin had been in and out of Pickens County Jail about a dozen times on charges ranging from drug possession to assaulting a police officer to shoplifting. He is currently awaiting trial on first-degree burglary and grand larceny charges, according to the sheriff's official records. Deal was awaiting trial on a criminal sexual conduct with a minor charge. The sheriff said that the homeowner was shaken by the shooting and asked him to help her maintain her privacy. He did not release her name. Clark said he thinks that the shooting was justified, but will forward the case to the prosecutors once the investigation was finished. This is a shining example of why owning and knowing how to use a gun is important, said the sheriff. She came out on the good end of this, and the other guys, the bad guys, didn't, Clark said. So, bad guy down.
Bad guy down.
I love a happy ending.
That's the NRA Armed Citizen. If you'd like to join the NRA, use our link. We'll get a little bit of love. So click on our link and support the NRA, even though they're really not on my good list right now because they're caving on a bunch of stuff they should not be caving on, because we have people that are in positions at the NRA that shouldn't be there because they don't have any backbone and they aren't willing to go to bat. So just saying that out loud in case any of them are listening. All right, so anything else, Doug? It's about wrapping it. How about our listeners over here on the side? Anybody have questions?
Yeah, I want to know what's on your hat.
Oh, Yesu. Yesu's on my hat for my Yesu radio, ham radio.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So here's my FT1, my FT2, FT1.
I had no idea what it was.
Yeah, this is a FT2 DRDE. It's a 2 meter and 70 centimeter, or 2 meter 440. And it also has Yaesu System Fusion, which allows me to connect through the internet to talk groups, which are all over the world. So there's talk groups in every country, just about, that allows the people to have ham radios. And I'm mostly on America's different talk groups here in America, but we have people from all over the world every morning. We have English people from Britain on, and a lot of Japanese on in the mornings. A lot of people
Canadians,
from probably Canadians. I haven't heard very many Canadians, but I don't have a Wires X, but I use a jumbo spot, which almost reaches. Let me turn my computer a little bit. So this is a jumbo spot, and my radio connects through simplex to this little device, which connects to my router and retransmits through the internet to other routers across the internet webs. And so I can pick different, from my radio, I can pick different talk groups by selecting different options here. I can pick different talk groups to talk to, listen to. And I do a lot of listening, just trying to make sure I get all the lingo, since I'm a newbie and I don't have an Elmer that knows anything about digital radio. So mine only knows about analog and HF, and HF is dead. That's what I keep hearing. HF is your higher frequencies, the ones you operate once you get general class or extra class. And Yaesu, or the company I bought, Gigapart, sent me a hat. Actually sent me two hats. I got a gray one over there too, with this last radio I purchased. So yeah, any hams out there that would like to talk to me on Yaesu System Fusion, I've not gotten into the other talk groups. I've not gotten into D-Star, and I've not gotten into Echolink, although I have it on my phone. I haven't gotten into Echolink. DMR I'm playing around with, but there aren't any talk groups in Kentucky. There's some in Indiana, different places. But I'm trying to get System Fusion down first, which seems the most easy for me to understand and learn. But a lot of people are getting into it, so these talk groups seem to fill up. There's people over here talking right now. You can see the radio's lighting up. I really am enjoying just getting into it. I don't know that I'll get into HF because it's a big cost jump. I mean, for a rig and an antenna tower, you're looking at $1,500 probably on the short side. That's cheap in, and then you're looking at probably $2,000 to $3,000 for most setups of new equipment. I mean, if you can buy used equipment, but I don't know what's good and what's bad on HF. So I'm going to master the 2-meter 440 first, and Yaesu System Fusion, and then I'll probably move into some of the other stuff on ham radio. So I know we've got several hams that have reached out to me, but if you guys are on Yaesu System Fusion, let me know what talk groups you're on and when you're usually on, and I'll try to get on those times if I can, and maybe we can connect up and have a QSO. Do you have any idea what we're talking about, Doug?
None.
I didn't either about a year ago.
Something about you got a radio.
I got a radio, yeah. I got a radio for my truck, and I was waiting for the antenna to come in. I've got a antenna that was supposed to be here, and it hasn't shown up yet, and an antenna mount. And then I've got to find a way of routing the antenna wire and the power wire through the firewall of my truck. And I need to get some kind of mount to put inside my truck for the head. The control head's separate of the main unit, which I can mount underneath the seat.
Hey, I got a Cobra hand radio, CB radio that I carry in my truck. We listen to it going back and forth to Arkansas, listening for police officers, because those truck drivers talk a little bit. and we use them down in the duck hole because our cell phones do not work. So we bought 4 radios that all match and run them on the same channels.
Yeah.
That way, if somebody has problems, can't get out, and need something, need help, they can holler on the radio and one of us will answer.
Yeah.
So
I got some GMRS radios I used to use with the kids. I give each one of them a GMRS radio or a FRS radio. So when we went in the mountains and stuff like that, we could communicate a couple miles line of sight. They say they're 33-mile radios, but they're about 33 yards or something. If you're in a mountainous area, you don't have a lot of. If you don't have line of sight, you're pretty much out of luck. But with all the repeaters and stuff around here, I can talk most places with a mobile rig. This 5-water is just not enough to reach Elizabethtown or Glasgow. I can listen to them. I can hear them fine, clear as a bell, but I can't transmit. I don't have enough power in the little handhelds, these handhelds to transmit that far. But I can transmit though through the jumbo spot. And once I get my 50-watt Yaesu FTM 400, once I get that put in the truck, it's got 50 watts. It'll reach Glasgow. It'll probably reach Louisville. So I have a whole lot more range. I can hit a lot more repeaters. And some of those repeaters are Yaesu System Fusion. So some repeaters are just like regular retransmit to the local area. Some of them are connected to Yaesu System Fusion. So if I'm out on the road and I connect to a repeater that's got Yaesu System Fusion in it, I can talk all over the world. So I can pick the top group on my mobile, or if I'm in Louisville, I can talk. I can use this. If I'm in a location with about 10 miles of a repeater with a handheld, I can probably pick it up and lock in, or I have been able to so far. So I know a lot of you guys are just rolling your eyes like, what in the world is he talking about? But it's a whole nother language, just like about anything else. You start studying it before long, you'll figure it out. So I've got the System Fusion down. There's a GMRS, not GMRS. The GMRS? It's G. I don't have my glasses. I don't have reading glasses on. But it can track you. So you can set up like your own little group of people. If you all have the Yaesu radios with the tracking in it, you can set up a certain password or passcode, and everybody in your group can see where you're at on GPS. There's GPS built into the radio. So if you're with a group of people and one of them says, "Hey man, I broke my leg," or "I'm in a ditch, come help me," you can look on your radio and you can track them. It's got a little map on it. It'll show you the direction that they're in and how far away they are. So I'm on the Yaesu System Fusion. If somebody keys up a mic in Oregon, it'll have a compass with the direction of where it's at and how many miles away it is. It'll say 2,000 miles away is this person, and it shows off their call sign that they've programmed into the radio. So whenever you're talking to people, like it'll pop up and it'll show someone in England 6,000 miles, 5,000, 6,000 miles away, or in Japan, it'll be 11,000 miles away or whatever it was. So it's pretty interesting how it works. But
it's pretty slick.
Everybody's eyes glassed over, but about 2-3 people. All right. So, any other questions over, guys? That was Tim, wasn't it? Hey, Tim. What is Yaesu? Yaesu is a brand of radio. It's like Kenwood or ICOM radios. There's lots of different radios brands out there. The 2 biggest ones are ICOM and, well, I'd say the 3 biggest ones are ICOM, Yaesu, and Kenwood, or not Kenwood. Kenwood? I think it's Kenwood. Pioneer used to do them. I don't think they're in business. They got bought by somebody else or something. I don't know everything about radios. There's a lot of different manufacturers. those two are like number 1, 2, 3. All right, so we're going to wrap it up. Send your feedback to Troy at GodGunsPodcast.com or
Doug at GodGunsPodcast.com.
If you're ham, send me your call sign and what channels you get on if you get on anything. If we have, I know there's a few guys like Steve Stone. He gets on DMR, I think, quite a bit. I think he's got a Yeezy though now, so I need to find out what talk group he's in. But I got guys out in California and up in Montana. So you guys let me know what talk groups you get on or which ones y'all monitor, and I'll get there and holler at you sometime. Or you guys can holler at me. We'll have a rag chew or QSO.
A rag chew.
Rag chew. All right. So please tell your friends about us. Leave us an iTunes review and like us on Facebook at facebook.com/God Guns Podcast. Subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at God Guns Pod. Search for us on Instagram and search for us on MeWe. And our website is GodGunsPodcast.com. So until next time, Doug, have a blessed week.
And keep your guns close, but keep your Bible closer.
Good night. Any other questions? That's it.
Night, everybody. Nope.
All right. Night. Find where to shut down at. There we are.